In the last lesson, we discussed how we can light up our scene by using HDRIs and a few elements of the Unreal Engine's default lighting setup. And we have this very good looking overcast lighting setup for our shot. In today's lesson, I'm going to bring in a nighttime HDRI and create a night scene for our shot. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, I'm going to go into polyhaven.com to download this HDRI. I'm going to scroll down and select HDRIs. And then I'm going to select night from here. And in here, you can see we have some really good looking nighttime textures. So you can choose anyone, of course, but I'm going to go with this one. Okay, I'm going to select this texture. 8K is just fine for us. And I'm going to make sure that HDR is selected and then simply click on this download button. Okay. Once the download is complete, I'm going to go into import and I'm going to select this nighttime HDRI. And then it's going to take some time to import that into the project. Let me save everything. And now what you can do in here is to duplicate these three elements and move them to a different folder to create the lighting for the night scene. But I'm just going to do it over here. Okay. So I'm going to now simply just hide the exponential height fog, hide the skylight as well. And I'm going to select this HDRI backdrop. Let me enlarge this window. And I'm going to select this HDRI and drop it in here. And now, as you can see, we have this very good looking HDRI in our scene. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the skylight as well. I'm going to drag this thing, bring it over here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to have to make a few adjustments because right now you can see this HDRI is kind of, visible in the background. Let me split this window. And in here we can see we have this unwanted part of the HDRI in our shot. So what I'm going to do in here is to rotate this thing on Z to maybe just about there. And I'm also going to bring this HDRI down on Z axis. For that, I'm going to maybe type in here, let's say minus 5,000 or maybe let's say minus 10,000. Yeah, I think it looks good. And I'm going to rotate this thing to maybe to just about there. Yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, and let's see what we can do with the intensity of this HDRI because right now I like these stars to be a little bit more illuminated. So let's bring this intensity down to 0.1. Yeah, I think now it looks a little bit better. Okay, so let's now go into the skylight to increase the intensity in here. Maybe let's say, I don't know, 2. Yeah, I think 2 looks good. Okay. And let's bring in the exponential height fog as well. Okay, yeah, I think it looks good. Let me enlarge this window. Perhaps it's a little bit too bright for a night shot, but of course we're going to work on that later. First, I'm going to bring in a moonlight into my shot. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just open this environment lights folder, duplicate the directional light so that I can use this directional light to simulate a moonlight. I'm going to drag this thing, drop it in this folder, and then I'm going to simply just change this color to maybe just about here, I guess, somewhere around here. Yeah, just about there. And I'm going to press OK. Okay, so yeah, I think it looks good. Let me enlarge this window right here. And let's see how this looks like in our shot. Perhaps the exposure is a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do in here is to select the camera and simply bring down the exposure to, let's say, 0 or maybe -1. Let's see. Yeah, let's start with -1 and see what it looks like. I'm going to select the directional light and maybe increase the intensity to probably just about there. Yeah, let's keep this at 30 for now. And But the problem is that after increasing the intensity, the nighttime HDRI that we have in the background doesn't look so illuminated. So for that, I'm gonna go into the HDRI backdrop and increase the intensity to, let's say, 0.5 or maybe even 1. I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's try 0.5 for now. And let's see how this looks like with a little bit more skylight in the scene. Maybe let's increase this to 4 or maybe 5. I don't know. Perhaps 5. Interesting. Okay, so perhaps a little bit more moonlight. Yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, but now I think the exposure is a little bit too much. Once again, I'm gonna select my camera and maybe bring this down to -2. Yeah, I think -2 looks good. Then I'm gonna go back into my skylight. Sorry, not the skylight, the HDRI backdrop. And maybe increase the intensity to, let's say, 0.75. Let me just hide and unhide the skylight because sometimes whenever you adjust anything in the HDRI backdrop, you have to switch off and on the skylight again in order to refresh properly. It's probably a glitch or a bug, but that is how it is. So maybe an intensity of 0.75 isn't enough. Let's try 0.9. I'm gonna have to hide the skylight and unhide it again. Maybe let's say 1. Let's try 1. I don't know, 0.5. Yeah, I think I should increase this to 1. Yeah, now it looks good. I'm gonna select the directional light and yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm gonna select the skylight and let me see. Let's try 6 or maybe 5. Yeah, I think 5 is okay. Let's see how this thing looks like in here. In here it looks too overexposed because we adjusted the exposure in the shot. So this is how you can actually create a night scene in your shot. One thing that you may have noticed in here is that all of these parameters are somehow connected with each other. For example, if you increase the intensity of the directional light to have a little bit more moonlight in your scene, the HDRI backdrop becomes a little bit dimmer, okay? And then you have to increase the intensity of the HDRI backdrop as well. Then maybe you have to increase or decrease the intensity of the skylight as well. And then, maybe select the camera and decrease the exposure. So this is how you can tweak all these parameters to adjust the lighting for your night scene. So that's it for this lesson. And in the next lesson, we'll discuss some more lighting parameters. So I'll see you guys in the next one.